This email right here was not sent manually. It was generated, scheduled, and sent using Python. And that's exactly what we will be learning in this tutorial. You will learn how you can generate reports, create templates that look like this, attach attachments to your email, and schedule your email so that it can be sent automatically every day or whenever you want them to be sent. And if you're a beginner, scheduling tasks, generating reports, and managing emails are a very important skill that you can add to your CV. So without further ado, let's just jump into the tutorial. Okay, so this is what the project structure looks like. There's a logs folder. It will contain all the email logs. So if you have any error or whatever happened when you're sending an email, that will be logged here. So here you can check application starting, Python version this, working directory this, then sending initial reports, starting daily report email workflow. So this was the error once when email was being sent, and this is the complete traceback. So this is actual standard structure of how your log file should look like, whether it's an information line or is it an error or is it a warning. Everything should be clearly displayed in your log files, and that's what we are doing. We are trying to follow all the standard practices so that you become familiar with how your log file and rest of the code base should look like. Okay, so after logs there's actual reports. This is where we generate reports. So reports are generated in a CSV format. We have kept it simple for this tutorial. It can have hundreds of rows or thousands of rows, but right now I just have 4 rows and 2 columns. I'll show you how you can dynamically and automatically generate report 2. And then finally we come to services. There are 2 main services that we need to look at. Email service that will handle the actual email sending, and report generator that will handle generating the report. And finally we have a logger. This is more like a configuration of how the logging should be. It contains all the configuration that shows how the log should look like the warning, info, error, and all that stuff. And finally we have template. Now this is the template in which we will be sending emails. Remember the email that we just saw, right? That template, email template, is this template. And after that we have the virtual environment folder. In Python, it is standard practice to install all the dependencies in project-specific virtual environment so that there is no version mismatch with any other project. That's what we are doing here. And finally, we have the environment variable, which contains your password, your email, SMTP server, and SMTP port. So main.py is like the orchestrator. It actually calls the report generator function in the services, and then it defines what time to send the email at, and it schedules the email. So this is like the orchestrator which puts everything together. It binds all the services and everything together so that our application works as expected. So this is basically bringing all the features from this together. Okay, and finally requirements.txt contains all the requirements or Python libraries that we will install in this project. So for this project, we just need 3 dependencies, that is python.env for environment, Jinja2 for templating, and finally schedule, so that we can schedule our emails. Now, as we mentioned, let's create our virtual environment and install all the dependencies. So I'll just delete this and recreate this so that you can see how we can create the virtual environment. Now in VS Code, to create a virtual environment in this project, click on terminal, click on new terminal, and enter this command, python -m venv. Hit enter, and virtual environment is being created. Here you will directly see virtual environment folder is already created. Now it's adding some more files inside the virtual environment. Once the virtual environment is created, just activate it using venv/scripts/activate. Hit enter, and you will see virtual environment printed in front of your terminal, and this means that the virtual environment is activated. If you are on Mac or Linux, just add this activate keyword in front of this command and then enter env. And remember, it's / in Unix-based systems. So instead of the slash that we've used here in Windows, just use this slash. Okay, and it's not a script, it's bin/activate. Okay, my bad. If you are on Linux or Unix systems like Mac OS, the command is source venv and then not / but / and then bin/activate. Enter, and your virtual environment will be activated. Once the virtual environment is activated, just enter this python -m pip install -r and then requirements, and this will install all the requirements listed inside the requirements file in your virtual environment. Now hit enter, and as you can see, the installation has started. Once the installation has started, we will finally get into coding, and we will start from our main.py. Okay, so our virtual environment is created and it is active. Now let's jump into the coding. All right, finally, now we are about to write some code. As you had seen, we will create a service file that we will use in our main file to send emails. So let's first create our core email sending service. Go inside your service folder, click on new file and create a new file called email_service.py. Now first we need to import some libraries that we will use to send email and load virtual environment. So make sure you import these libraries. After you've done this, you get the suggestion. Just hit tab to accept the suggestion, or if you're not getting the suggestion, you can type this manually, load_.env. This will load environment variables. Now let's load our environment variables that we will use to send emails from. So this is the environment variables. We need to define email address from which we will send the email password of this email address, and the SMTP server. Here we are using smtp.gmail.com, and the SMTP port, which is 587 for Gmail. Now this is the default port and default server. So if you don't have these two things, that is SMTP server or SMTP port defined inside your environment variables, these defaults will be used. Finally, let's create our class email service. Now this email service will be responsible for sending emails using SMTP. This class will hide all email related logic behind a simple interface. We are already getting this suggestion, but I'll ignore the suggestion. And first, let's create an init function. So what does this init function do? It is actually called constructor, and inside this constructor, we will validate required email configuration, and this init function or the constructor is run when we initialize our email service class. You will see what this means when we initialize this. Here, we just define a condition that says if there is no email address or no email password, raise this error that says email address or password is missing. Please configure them in your env file. If there is no error, the class will be initialized successfully. Okay, now let's create another function that will actually send the email. Now in this function, first we need to have self as the parameter. Then we need a subject. Subject will be a string type. And then we need to email, which is also a string. And then we need text body, which is also a string. And then we need HTML body in case our email is an HTML. And finally, if there's an attachment, we will have attachment as a list. Okay. And by default, the attachment and HTML body are set to none. So inside this function, we will write the code to actually send the email. Okay. So first, let's create a try block and create our email message variable. And then let's define the subject, define the email address, define the to address. And first, let's send a simple email, and then I'll show you how you can send HTML body and attachments. Okay, once you have everything ready, let's try to connect to the SMTP server. You use with for that, and we had imported SMTP lib, right? We use SMTP lib.smtp ssl and pass. Now, I think I'll disable this AI suggestion because it is actually suggesting everything immediately, and it is quite good, to be honest. We just need to change a few things, but it's not quite good to understand what we are doing with this turned on. Okay, now here we first need to pass our SMTP server and then SMTP port as SMTP. Now this connection will be referenced inside this block as SMTP. Now once this is done, let's log into the SMTP server with given email and password. Once it's done, we can just do smtp.send message, and our message that is passed here inside the send message, we send this message object, and we need to add our body to it. Okay, and this email message object, there is subject, there is from, and there is to, but there is no actual body. So I forgot to add the body. So let's just add the body message.set content and set text body. And now everything is there, and we will try to log into SMTP using SMTP server and SMTP port and send the message. Okay, since we had initialized the try block, we need to add an exception here. So just write exception E as E, and we will just print the error message and raise an error. Okay, so basically this is pretty much it. We have defined our configuration here, SMTP server, SMTP port, initialized our email service, and initialized the send function. And now we can actually send emails. So let's try sending a basic email. After that is successful, we will see how we can send an HTML body and attachments. Okay, so let's create our main orchestrator file, right? Let's call this main.py. And this file will be used to orchestrate everything, like send scheduled emails, call these functions, and so on. Okay, so let's try to send a basic email. Make sure your configurations are correct here. Okay, I'm using these configurations. If you have Zoho, Zoho uses port 465. If you are using Gmail, it uses port 587. Okay, now let's try to send the email. So in our main file, we will call this function, not this function, we will call this send function from the email service class. So first let's import our email service. So from services.email service, we import our class that is called email service. Now to quickly check if email sending is working or not, let's initialize our email service and just use the send function that we had just created. Let's say the subject is testing email and the to email address is my email, that is yal.shrestha9794@gmail.com. And okay, we have subject and to email. Let's have text body. This is a text email. And since we have not added HTML body and attachments for now, we'll leave these as it is. And yeah, this is basically it. And let me just change my password here. Okay, I've already changed the password here. Okay, so I'll have to reset my password after this video course is done. Anyway, let's try to run this. So open your terminal or press Control and this tilde icon here, and your virtual environment is already there. Let's try to run this python main.py, hit enter, and let's see what happens. It's taking some time. Okay, so now something happened, but we don't know what actually happened because we had not added logging. So this is why logging is very important, to actually see if you failed or you succeeded and so on. So let's go ahead to our email service and add some logs to see if everything is working as expected. So first, in our initialization itself, let's add some logs here that says initializing email service, and this is the server and port that we are using, so there is no mismatch. And to initialize logger, you need to do something like this: logger equals to get logger and name, and this get logger is also not imported. So to add logging, first here you need to import logging and create a logger for this module. So what I'll do is I'll just set logger equals to logging dot get logger name and logger dot set level to debug level. Later on, we will create a custom logger file that we will use to create log files and save to this logs folder. But for now, we will just print everything in our console. So once this is done, just go to your init function, and here let's add a basic log line that says initializing email service and SMTP configuration, so that you can be sure you are using the server and port that you actually intend, and it is not using the default or a wrong server and port. After this, in your send function, let's log our subject and to email. And once we have done this, that is actually connecting to the SMTP server. Let's enter this that says starting TLS encryption. And after the login, let's print authentication is successful. And after the send message, let's print email sent successfully. Now let's try to run this again and let's see if everything works well. Okay, so still nothing is printed because we forgot to do the same thing in main. So import logging in main, and since we are running email service from our main file, we need to define what level of logs are allowed. So we say only debug logs are allowed, right? And here we have some info, some debug. Yeah, so only debug will be allowed if we define level to debug. So I'll change this to info so that we are printed with all the logs. So let's run this again one final time, and here, as you can see, the info is printed, debug is also printed, and the connection was successful. Authentication was also successful, and you are able to send email successfully. Now let's check our Gmail to see if it actually arrived or not. So here, as you can see, it actually arrived, and it arrived 3 times. The 2 times before this, we had no log, so we didn't know what happened. And after the logging, we actually knew the email sending was successful, and once checking, it was actually successful. Quick note, if you are using Gmail instead of Zoho, you might be getting an error. To fix that, it's quite simple. Go to your email service, and here, since we are using Zoho, since I am using Zoho, the SMTP port for Zoho is 465, right? So here in the send function, I'm using SMTP SSL because port 465 uses implicit SSL. So whenever I am connecting, it is connected with SSL by default. But if you are using Gmail that uses port 587, it does not use SMTP SSL. Instead of SMTP SSL, you just write SMTP here, Okay, and the connection is built. And after the connection is built, you need to actually do this, start TLS, that is start the SSL connection. Okay, once this is done, then you can log in. So if you are using Zoho, that is port 65. In fact, port 465 for any provider, you don't need an extra step here. You just use SMTP underscore SSL. But if you are using port 587, you remove the SSL from here. You add this line that actually creates an SSL connection, and then you log in. Okay, so I'm leaving it as it is because most of you guys are probably using Gmail. So I'll use SMTP and start TLS. Okay, and one more thing, if you are using Gmail, you cannot log in using email and password itself. For Gmail, you have to enable two-factor authentication, and if you enable that, you will not get an OTP like doing it like this. So you need to create an app password for Gmail. So let's see how you can create app password quickly, and then you can use that password here and run this again. So once it is successful, we'll move on now to sending HTML. To create app passwords in Gmail, first log into your Gmail account. Click on your profile picture on top right and go to manage your Google account. Scroll down, you will see this search Google account search bar. Here, type app password and you will see these things. Just click on app passwords, and here you need to enter your password to verify that it is you. Once you've re-logged in, you will now be taken to the app passwords page. Here, just type your app name. I'll just write test app and then click on create. And now your app password is being created, and you can see it here. Now you cannot see it again, so just copy it and make sure you keep it somewhere safe. If you faced an error, let me know in the comments and I'll help you out.